I hope you're getting used to this angle because I like to sit in bed. Why did I sound a little bit French when I did that? I'm gonna talk about this like I did an update last time, and I'm not in the same exact place page-wise, but oh my god, I'm 130 pages into this. Also, I have a slight update. Oh shit, did I leave the book in the other room? Stay here. Did you stay? Good girl. I vehemently at the end of my last vlog was like, I don't like this book, I'm gonna stop reading this book, I don't like the characters, it's really annoying. The more I dwell on this and the more that I gear up for reading book 3, I'm like, what if I just tried a little harder? Because typically if I DNF something, I'm like 10 pages into it, then I'm like done, but I got 40% through this. And I feel like I can just skim read the parts that I don't love, so I can just deal with it. But I'm like 30 to 40% way through both of these, and I'm not loving either of them, which I think is the reason why I'm wanting to like jump between books, or I go and play Skyrim for 2 hours instead of read these. That's my update for tonight. I don't even remember if I've introed this vlog, but I need to stop recording like once every 3 days, so even if this is just like a poo poo pee pee kind of clip, here I am. I exist. It's 5 a.m. and I have not gone to bed. I took a 2-hour nap earlier today, which means I can't sleep. So, fortunately, for the first time this entire weekend, I got off of Skyrim and continued my actual book. I think I was on page like 130 last time I updated, and now I'm on page 315. Update on how I'm feeling about this, because the first 100 pages or so, like, it was fine. Full disclosure, I don't really enjoy enemies to lovers workplace romances, which this is not an office setting, so it was a little bit exempt from that. I find that I'm very sensitive in situations where men are critical of women because it's a little close to home. I don't like feeling like people are mad at me, and by extension, mad at the main character of the book. So when this transitioned into more like lovey-dovey, like, oh, she's not that bad, oh wait, she's actually kind of sexy, oh wait, now we're getting along, that's when it really started taking off. The first spicy scene in this, wow. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but wow. Beautiful. Amazing. And speaking of spicy scenes, I had my video go up yesterday that was sponsored by Blessa. I haven't done a sponsorship since like 2017 because I only ever did like book related things, and I kind of burned a bridge with the agency that was giving me them after an awkward situation with Disney. Anyway, and ever since I've rejoined YouTube, I've started getting solicitation emails again of sunglasses brands and perfumes and like things that I don't care about. When I saw Blessa in my inbox, I was like, there's no way. And every example they sent me of other creators that work with them had like 500,000 subscribers. So I just took a leap of faith and I was like, listen, if the girls are here for smutty TikTok romance books, maybe they'll be here for that. And all of the comments have been so positive. I mean, I don't know what I expected because it's not like people are gonna outright comment on it and be like, horror. So maybe I just need to not check Guru Gossip or something. That happened yesterday. Shelby was over, so she like held my hand basically through it all. But this book just went from eh to eh. So I'm gonna continue. This Bojangles box that Shelby and I got this weekend. Ignore. I don't want to talk about the number of hours of sleep I had last night because it was minimal. I'm on my lunch break at work, so I took a minute to shower since I woke up right before needing to log on. And I have a meeting that I'm leading soon, so I need to put on some makeup. The good news is I finished this, so I'm gonna do a little review. Once I got over the hill of the enemies to lovers turning into the lovers part, it went by so much faster. I read like 100 pages of it in one sitting where their banter really starts to pick up. I thought it was really cute. Overall, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars just because the first half took a little bit. Okay, we're back in better. I had a meltdown putting on my makeup because I couldn't cover up this pimple. But anyway, this main character was, I think, the most relatable out of the 3 just because I'm very like poo poo pee pee, say everything that's on my mind, be self-conscious about not being adult enough and being afraid of getting too close to people, but also just being depraved and kind of proud about it. So that was fun to see. I liked her because of that. The spicy scenes, and I don't know if people hate it being called spicy scenes, the sex scenes were so good. There's only 2, which for like a 400-page book, I'm like, give me more. But they were written really well and it was amazing. So I was on FaceTime with Bonnie and Shelby while it was happening and I was like, yo! Honestly, you could probably read this as a standalone. The sisters that are in it, you don't need to know their backstories. I don't think you'd miss much. Yeah, that was fun. That was good. Not a huge focus on her being fat. I think there's a couple of mentions of like, oh, she's bigger. This is something that she had to take into account when she, you know, was thinking about her career and her relationships, but like, it's not something she's actively thinking about or wanting to change, which I thought was good. That being said, there wasn't a lot of mentions of it to like normalize it and remind the reader. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like I need to be thrown a bone every now and then of like, and she was chubby and this experience was okay. I refuse to DNF all of this author's books, so I'm gonna try this one again. But I think as a palate cleanser, because I'm going to be reading like two very, in my head, very similar books back to back, even though they're not too similar. I don't know. It's like workplace boss and employee. One character is super outgoing, the other is super not. They just felt very similar. I'm going to have a palate cleanser, which is this book I just got from the library called Starfish. This is a middle grade book in verse about this like 12 or 13-year-old girl who's plus sized and it's summertime. She's in her swimsuit, feeling very self-conscious, and she gets bullied at school, but I had a couple of commenters say that this book is really good and made them cry. However, I cannot start that now because I have to work now, so I'll see you in a couple hours. Okay, work is done for the evening. If I stay too still for too long, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I'm literally reading this book out loud to Gordo, who's right here. Say hi. Good boy. This character has a list that she writes in her diary called Fat Girl Rules. It's basically like, you don't deserve to be seen or heard, don't take up room, don't be noticed, make yourself small. Because that hits close to home. I have a story I want to tell from something that happened to me a couple of months ago. I went on a business trip to Denver. I have a routine when I get on an airplane where I joke to people like I dissociate and I just sit like this and try to take up as little space as possible. It's not a joke. I'm so uncomfortable on airplanes because I'm big and I'm aware of how big I am and I'm always terrified I'm annoying them or there's gonna be someone who makes a scene. Most times people are friendly and I can keep my arms to myself and we're fine for the flight. That's the biggest problem is like my elbows just stick out so wide, so I have to like literally on planes I like sit like this. It's just my normal. Anyway, on this flight home from Denver, I get on the plane and I have the window seat. The woman next to me is like in her 50s or 60s. She had the armrest down. I'm a big proponent of put the armrest up because first of all, it helps me fit better. Second of all, I'm so tall, like I can't even reach it with my elbows, so I never use them. So I just sit down and like by force of habit put the armrest up. And when she comes to sit down, she goes, oh, can you put the armrest back down? And I was like putting my bag away kind of flustered. By the way, I got to my seat and it was one of the weird rows where there's not a window. It's like where the exit door is. So the whole row is kind of shortened because there's a door taking up like 4 inches of space. The inches are critical. We'll get into it later. Anyway, she wants me to put the armrest back down. Long story short, I could have forced it down, but wouldn't have been comfy. She wouldn't have been able to use it. And at that moment, I realized, like, I am too big. Like, this is a problem, which I'm aware of every time I'm in public. So this woman sits down. We don't talk. Like, I'm just doing my thing, like squishing myself into the side of the plane to try and not be in her space. My coworker is literally in the seat in front of me, so I'm just like texting him, just putting in my AirPods, getting ready to go. I am a tall woman, so as I'm sitting there, the woman next to me in the middle seat is texting. It's an older woman. Her font is huge. I'm like a head taller than her and she can't see that literally everything she does is in my line of vision. Or maybe she didn't care. I don't know. But I watch as she's texting and almost word for word, she just says like, there's a big fat lady next to me. My elbow is up her ass right now. She's taking up 1/3 of my seat and I'm only on 2/3 of my seat and she's touching me and it's so gross. I had joked before this flight because I was flying with my coworker. I was changing my seat from like, I was in the back of the plane and I wanted to be closer to the front and I was like, well, there's a seat at the very front, but it's a middle seat, or there's a seat a little bit further back, but it's a window seat. Do I want to take the chance of annoying 2 people sitting next to a fat person, or just annoy 1 person sitting next to a fat person? Like, literally had made this joke to him earlier, like kind of not joking. So aware of the situation I put people in when I have to sit next to them on a plane. So the second that I look over and I see these texts, I texted my coworker in front of me and I was like, I can't even make this up. This lady's mad that I'm next to her. And she never said a word to me. She never looked at me. I mean, the entire 2-hour flight, I'm sitting there like so uncomfortable, so miserable that like someone would say that about me. But like, what do you do in that situation? Because they're not wrong. And as soon as she left the plane, my coworker turned around and I was like, tell me I'm not on a third of her seat. Because I had been like relaying to him every message. And I'm just like going off a little bit like, I am not in her space as much as she said I was. Like, she was really exaggerating it. And you know, I went home and I sort of processed it through humor. Like, I had seen her as soon as we landed, she pulled up Fox News. So I was like, okay, it's a Republican, so her opinion doesn't matter anyway. Like, I'm never gonna see her again. Like, did it end her life that I was next to her? But I have noticed, I have no desire to travel. As much as I say like, oh, I'm not gonna let that get to me, here it is for free. My job gives me lots of opportunities to travel and I just have not taken them because I don't want to be on an airplane again. It's funny because I'm literally on page 5 of this book and it's already bringing up memories of that situation. So I can already tell this book's gonna make me emotional because it was emotional having to tell that story again. But as much as I'm like, wee, I'm so happy and I'm proud of my body and I'm so happy with myself, shit like that happens to me. That wasn't the first time I've watched someone text someone as I'm sitting next to them. Like, the reason I was looking at her phone was because every time I get on a plane I have a hunch that someone's texting about me. When I went to see Taylor Swift, I could tell stories for days. When I went to see Taylor Swift in standing room only, I was standing next to this group of girls with my group of friends and I turn around, glancing over to my left, and I see the girl next to me had taken a picture with me to show that I was like tall and in her space. And as soon as she saw that I saw, she like whipped around to her friends and was like, oh my god, she saw. But it was clearly a picture of the back of me where she was like upset about it, and I have no idea what the caption to it was, but she had sent it to some group chat. At standing room only at a Taylor Swift concert, like, how are you gonna have a bad vibe that I'm just standing and the concert isn't for like 2 more hours? So in that situation, I literally like turned back around and I was like, are we okay? Like, do you need more room? Are you good? And I was asking her, like, what the hell? And she ignored me. Like, I have so many stories. It sucks. It sucks. And the solution's in my hands and I don't do shit about it. And if that's not an idea that's gonna make me want to cry myself to sleep tonight, then I need a distraction. So I just get fired up. I get so mad because it's my fault, right? And this is my inner fat phobia, and I just need to cut off this clip before I talk myself into a hole. The way that I talk about myself, I don't want any other fat friends of mine watching to think that the way I deprecate on myself is against all fat women. But thank you, Gordo. I needed to be stopped. I'm like about to cry right now, then go to bed. I avoid these feelings so hard that they just hit me like a train wreck when I have to confront them during things like this. So it's not going to be a fun night. Hopefully this book has a really, really positive message in the end that I can sit with all night. But again, I'm just going to try and not fall asleep so I can actually get 8 hours of sleep. That's my story time. If you're from Colorado, tell that woman to go fuck herself. Thank you, bye. Hi y'all. I have 0 updates other than so sorry for where we ended off the vlog last night. I had my meltdown. I've slept since then. I still feel the rage of suns within me, but I'm over it. You know, you kind of have to be. Anyway, I wasn't gonna do this until I like had a video idea that fit with it perfectly, but I've decided no, I'm hungry. This is not a sponsor, but I was sent something for free and it's something I've always wanted to try. So I was like, why not? Why not? TryTreats, I just scared the cat. TryTreats.com reached out to me and they were like, hey, we're a subscription service that mails you snacks from around the world. So I, not even kidding, have wanted this for years. It's been in my Amazon cart, but the one that I have in my wish list is $300. What? So, yeah. More affordable option here. I have not opened this, so I don't know what country we're getting this month, but unboxing. The camera eats first. Oh. What flag is that?
Your mom.
Okay.
I was gonna guess, but I don't want to sound stupid, so.
I don't know flags to save my life.
Do you have a guess?
Because I do.
Funny and guess, and just like be completely wrong.
Moldova.
That's a country?
Yeah. East Europe, baby.
I was gonna say Philippines or Indonesia.
I mean, white and red are like probably the most popular country colors. That could be literally anywhere. It could be Russia.
I was thinking just Asia.
Well, I'm thinking East Europe.
It's gonna be like Texas.
Indonesia!
And I said it!
So
I've never felt so sexy, intelligent. Somebody give me a PhD in this exact moment.
So we're gonna try some Indonesian snacks. Oh, you wanna do some pop quizzing about? I'm gonna give this a lot more time than this spot is worth, but this is content.
Okay.
Fun facts about Indonesia, you ready?
Ask me to guess what color the flag is.
What colors are the Indonesian flag?
Red and white?
What's their GDP?
What is GDP?
Gross domestic product.
Oh, Indonesia? Some type of, like, papaya?
It's a dollar amount.
Oh, I thought it was gross domestic product?
Maybe I don't know the
product. Product is an item. What's their gross domestic product? $3?
Cheat sheet. This is a lot of snacks, by the way. That's like a whole list, but we're just
don't
gonna...
spoil me.
I know, no spoilers. First, we've got the Gary cheese crackers.
I'm sorry. These are from Indonesia, and the first word you say is Gary?
Yeah. Gary better come home. Hi. Gorda said cheese. Chocolate wafer bites with no high fructose corn syrup. They can say they're better than us. Wafer rolls. Okay, couple of these looking familiar. We're gonna have to fight to the death to try this one.
You can have it. This is
milky creamy vanilla candy. Milkita?
Milky creamy vanilla candy was my nickname in high school.
Don't make me laugh. Oh my god, there's so much. Choco Marie, Belgian chocolate. Okay, Belgians.
I'm sorry, what part of this is giving Indonesia? You told me these are both in French.
Colonizers.
These are...
Okay, here's one that's in
Belgian chocolate.
Another language and I can't read it, but it looks like crunchy sticks of some kind. Oh wait, just kidding. We don't have to fight to the death. There's multiple Milkitas. Oh my god, there's so much in here. There's coffee candy, Copico, cassava crisp crackers, gluten-free option. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, gluten-free option. Dark chocolate cookie thins, another Milkita, and more cassava snack. Is that everything? No. One more Milkita. Oh my god, grilled beef flavor.
Is it grilled? Oh, that was roast.
Grilled beef flavor. I need to try the grilled beef flavor.
Yeah,
chips.
you do. In the shape of round balls, kind of like Tic Tac candy. They have a grilled beef flavor and are made from the finest cassava flour.
Do you see Gordo right now? He's like, grilled beef?
And then seasoned with a unique blend of spices.
It's giving grilled beef.
It smells like cat food.
It tastes like ramen, like the flavor packet.
I'm so happy for you on your journey.
I will be eating this in one sitting with Gordo, apparently, who...
Gordo's about to show whole.
I need to see what this one is that I can't even read it.
Oh, I can read it for you. Which
it's
one is
Momogi? Yeah.
Corn stick roasted corn barbecue by Momogi are crunchy and savory roasted corn sticks with just the right mix of flavor and crunch that you need. Experience the taste of buttered roasted corn in an airy... Oh my god, I thought it said snicky snack. It's a snack stick that melts in your mouth. I'm so happy for you on your journey. Is it good?
It's so good. It's like the elote corn dippers from Trader Joe's. That's so good. I should have known the whole package is like a corn cob.
It's corn.
It's so good. Amazing. Thank you, Indonesia, for your snacks. I know you all had a great part in that.
Oh, you can, they have a little,
I haven't been offering you any, but you haven't seemed interested in any. Do you want some of this chocolate one? If you want to have the experience that Shelby and I just had every single month, buy a subscription. I have a link down below. I do get, what's that called? Commission? Affiliate? Commission?
Do you make money off of it?
I think so.
If they sign up?
They gave me a link, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some monetary compensation that you receive.
Anyway, if you want to try it and you want to support me, go sign up with that link and get yourself some new snacks from a different country every month. There's my promo. And thank you, Indonesia, for providing snacks for this episode.
Still cannot believe I guessed that.
I was like, it's Hungary.
I've never seen the Indonesian flag in my life.
Neither have I.
Now I have.
I apologize to TryTreats, whose promotion is gonna be bookended by whatever this is, but I just got out of therapy and I'm crying about weight loss right now. I told my therapist, like, that airplane incident is sticking with me because I don't want to go anywhere. My consistent issue with weight loss is I just don't fucking want to do it. It's gonna be hard to talk about without making other fat people feel like shit. So like, this is all internalized fat phobia speaking, but I distinctly remember in the transition to middle school when we were making our schedules, we had the option, do you want to do athletics, which is like no matter what sport you want to play, you sign up for this one class called athletics. During the season of the sport you want to play, you get to play it, but the rest of the year you just do, like, you know, workouts at the school, whatever. I was probably one of 30 people who did not sign up for athletics. I never wanted to do sports. The idea of waking up at 5 a.m. to go run laps, I mean, I know for football players and whatever, they're not like, yay, running laps. I was so far from enjoying or wanting to exercise. I hate it. To this day, I hate it. When people are like, find joyful movement, like do something you enjoy. I want to be horizontal. Like, for anyone who's not fat watching this, I look fucking insane. I swear there's a part of me that's missing that enjoys that. It's so hard to not feel broken. And it's so hard to make a sob story out of it because I am the one accountable for how I look. I have the power to change it. It's gonna take, at this point, like 2 fucking years, unless I am unhealthy about it. This needs to happen and I would like for it to happen, but I don't feel like it. And it always comes down to, well, you have to want it enough. I'm never gonna want it. I'm never gonna want it. I would have changed already. And I'm so mad right now. All I want to do is curl up in bed. My sheets are in the wash, so I can't even do that. I just worked myself up so much, I'm like not even crying anymore. But I probably have a breakdown about this like twice a year, so my first one of the year has somehow coincided with the plus size readathon. It's an issue I'm tired of having to think about and talk about, but I do nothing. Like, therapize me, tell me why. Someone just give me whatever injection I missed that made everyone else be able to be normal. Like, what about me is so different from people that I can't fucking get it together? Other people just wake up at 5 a.m. and want to go work out and then they feel great for the rest of the day. I wake up 20 minutes before I have to leave so that I can get all the sleep I can eke out of my evening, and then I come home and I lay around because I'm so tired. Who the fuck has the energy? Like, I don't want to eat salads for lunch every day the rest of my life. I hate that I have to limit the things that make me happy because they're not good for me. Like, why did I have to form an attachment and become so comfortable in things that, for the longevity of my life, are not good for me? Yeah, the longer I sit around and just feel sorry for myself, the more time I lose from all the shit I have to get done today. I hope you enjoyed this. This is my apology for last night. I made myself a snow cone in a bowl and now I feel better. I did end up taking a walk yesterday afternoon after having that meltdown, which I hated every second of it. Does that mean it was good for me? Probably. I keep getting like 20 pages in and 20 pages in to the rest of my book, but I still have not gotten anywhere near completion with Starfish. So I made it to page 56. I'm gonna try and read like 100 pages of this before I shower. Hi vlog, happy Friday. I've been putting off making lunch because I have to like actually make something, so quinoa boiling, white girl thriving. I'm cooking some sweet potatoes. I have a meeting in 8 minutes, which I don't think my lunch will be done for, but quick reading update. I sat on the couch last night and got to page 150 of Starfish, and then I promptly fell asleep for 7 hours, which I think was needed, but I wanted to finish it. Clearly didn't get there. I'm a little over halfway through. The problem I'm having with this book is this character, every place she goes, she encounters fat phobia. I was a chubby 11-year-old and I've lived in Texas my whole life. I mean, maybe I live in a bigger city, but I don't know how much of me calling that realistic is a little bit blindsided because I really didn't have that much bullying experience growing up. So I don't want to call this unrealistic, but this author is just citing real things that have happened to her. But the bullying side of this feels really severe and sometimes overdone. because literally everywhere she goes, someone makes a comment or someone is mean to her. Like page after page after page, just back to back with no exceptions, which I don't think is realistic. And also for other fat people or like fat kids reading this book, it's just not a message to get shoved in your face over and over. Gotta stir my potatoes, hold on. So I'm trying to take that with a grain of salt, because I've noticed when I read books about people who are bullied a lot, I'm like, would that happen though? And I don't want to be that person. But this one, I'm definitely noticing. I'm like, okay, I don't think it will follow her around every single place she goes. So I think that's the reason why it's kind of hard to get through. Even though it's in verse, I'm having trouble reading it, so not the best. But at this point, I have like 4 days left of this readathon, and I still have not read the group book. And I think that's the one thing I want to focus on getting done. So I need to read the second half of All the Feels, and then the group book, which is the third book, Shipbreaker? I don't know. But I gotta wrap these sweet potatoes up. I got a meeting soon. So, I got definitely highly distracted while trying to read that last 100 pages, but I just finished this. I think I'm gonna give it like 2.5 stars. Was it good? No. As I feared, the author's note was like, every instance of bullying in this book is something that happened to me. And I don't know if it's just because everything happened back to back to back, or if maybe this author grew up 50 years ago. I just didn't think it was that realistic. I don't think the resolution was enough for what happened to her. Like, her mom, who would like force her to look in the mirror and point out every one of her flaws, it was just kind of like, oh, but I just wanted the best for you. Like, overall, I think the sentiment is good, and I think there needs to be more things for kids in this genre, but I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Can I show my little boy snoozing? Hi, what are you doing? Do you mind if I reach for my book? Are you gonna get scared? Got it. So here's the deal. I haven't read this book in what feels like 2 weeks. I stopped reading it thinking I was going to DNF it, but I'm like, I can just push through it, right? So I'm going to continue this. Hopefully I can finish it tonight. I'm like halfway through. But tomorrow I want to read the sequel, or the third book. But I have shit ass to do tonight, which means I'm gonna lay here and do nothing.